Today the topic of my video is types of hazards in food. I will give you the short summary and explanation of all hazards in food which are, if present in our food, they make our food unsafe for consumption. We generally consider there are 3 types of hazards, but in this video I will give you the concept of 10 types of hazards in food in the light of different recognized standards, and this will give you the understanding that we need to control all these hazards in order to make our food safe. Let's start the video. But if still you haven't subscribed my channel QA Learning Hub, please subscribe it and also hit the bell icon so you can get all the updates of my video at once. So let's begin. If you ask any food technologist about the types of hazards, you will get the following answer, that there are 3 types of hazards: physical, chemical and biological. And this is absolutely the right answer. The main categories of the hazards are these 3. However, there are 7 other hazards as well which have their own position, importance and significance due to different reasons. And what are those 7 hazards are? Allergen, radiological, fraud, defense, GMO, inorganic and haram. But if you see these hazards closely, you will find that these hazards actually come under the main hazards either in physical, chemical or biological. But due to the significance, these hazards are considered separately for the hazard analysis and risk assessment in food safety standards. Is it difficult for you to memorize all these hazards? Or do you find difficulty to answer what are food safety hazards? The answer is very simple. Food safety hazards are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. R for radiological hazards, A for allergen, B for biological, C for chemical, D for defense, E for extraneous matter also known as physical hazards, F for fraud, G for GMO, H for haram and I for inorganic. Let's discuss all the hazards one by one. These are actually chemical hazards. Radioactive chemicals in air may settle into food, water or soil. Terms used to describe radioactive chemicals include radioactive isotopes, radioactive elements and radionuclides. Examples include radioactive cesium, uranium and strontium. Food Safety Preventive Control Alliance (FSPCA) in 2016 identifies potential sources of radiological hazards as contaminated soil, water or air, ingredients with radionuclides and packaging. FSPCA admits that radiological hazards are rarely encountered in food. However, when they do occur, they can present a risk. The World Health Organization in 2011 says radiological hazards in food would have to be consumed over a period of time to present a risk. The most common way these radionuclides are incorporated into food is through use of water that contains our radionuclides during food production or manufacture. Radiological hazards may originate from a nuclear facility due to accidental release or damage created by natural disasters. Food allergens are typically naturally occurring proteins in foods or derivatives of them that cause abnormal immune responses. There are typically 14 types of allergen, but please note that these 14 allergens are defined by EU. Every country has its own allergens. Mango is an allergen in Taiwan. You can see here the internationally recognized food allergens chart along with their countries. There is a research held in IOBM by students of MBA supply chain students. According to that research, there are some people in Pakistan have different allergies when consume beef, mutton, chicken, etc. Foodborne diseases can be caused consuming food contaminated by pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria and their toxins, fungus, viruses and parasites. Examples are Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria monocytogenes and Staphylococcus, etc. Chemical hazards are distinct compounds or substances, especially one which has been artificially prepared or purified. Chemical hazards include contaminated water, food contact materials, cleaning agents, pest control substances, contaminants, pesticides, biocides, and food additives. If we analyze, we will see gradual development in the concept of food safety in past 20 years. Previously, when organizations need to ensure food safety and want to comply with the requirements of any food safety standard, they used to focus and consider only on those hazards that can be introduced unintentionally in the product at any part of the process flow, which can cause risk and harm the human health. After 2001, due to different war, terrorism, law and orders issues around the globe, organizations, along with focusing and addressing the unintended addition of hazards, become also cautious and curious towards intentional addition and adulteration of hazards in the food chain that can harm people or customer. This whole mechanism to prevent consumer from any criminal attempt and terrorist action at any part of food supply is named as food defense. Food defense is the safety of food products from intentional contamination or adulteration by biological, chemical, physical or radiological agents introduced for the purpose of causing harm. All the GFSI approved standards have been asked to include the requirement for food defense, example FSSC, IFS, BRC, SQF, etc. There is a complete video in my channel with the title Food Defense. You can watch it and get an idea about food defense. Its a common name is physical hazards. It is simple. It gives the immediate harm. Physical hazards include foreign objects in food that can cause harm when eaten, such as glass or metal fragments. This is the latest issue but very old problem. This is a hazard in food products which is intentionally added for financial advantage through tampering products with alternative ingredients. It happens when food products are deliberately altered, diluted with undeclared substitution to gain the profit. Number of cases were reported around the world for food fraud. Well-known examples are melamine contamination crisis in 2008 and horse meat scandal in 2013. A genetically modified organism or GMO is an organism that has its DNA altered or modified in some way through genetic engineering. In most cases, GMOs have been altered with DNA from another organism, be it a bacterium, plant, virus or animal. These organisms are sometimes referred to as transgenic organisms. There are countries where GMO imports and cultivation are totally banned. See from the list. There are conflicts and debates still on, but the effects of consuming GMO products. Haram foods are foods that are forbidden in Islam. There are 2 billion Muslims population in the world, and it is very important for Muslims to stay away from haram foods and eat food that is halal. Inorganic foods are food items produced using processes with synthetics such as chemical fertilizers and pesticides and growth promoting antibiotics. So these are the description of all the food safety hazards. If you are applying for GFSI standards, you need to consider all these hazards for risk assessment. Hope this video gives you the clarification about the types of hazards. If you like the video, please hit the like button, give your comment and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.